Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, June 27th, 2023. Welcome back. Let's get straight into today's headlines. As we all know, Robinhood, no, not the character of myth, of lore, of folk tale that stole from the rich and gave to the poor. No, we're talking about the app on your phone, a little different, but the app on your phone that you can buy stocks and cryptocurrencies and even fractional shares of stocks. Well, we know back during the COVID lockdown, meme stocks and meme coins were all the rage. Robinhood went IPO. They were flush with cash. People were buying and selling GameStop and AMC and Dogecoin. And, well, that kind of all died down. And so Robinhood, to make sure that they are covering all their bases, they've been laying off staff. And they're announcing a new latest round of layoffs. 7% of its full-time employees, or around 150 employees, are being laid off from Robinhood. And now that goes to my story that I told you I was going to tell you yesterday, a couple weeks ago when the SEC decided to crack down on Binance and Coinbase. They announced that both of these companies, Binance US and Coinbase, were offering securities on their platform. And they listed Solana and Polygon as one of their securities. I will let you know that I bought Polygon/Matic on Robinhood months ago, maybe half a year ago or a year ago. And I usually don't buy on Robinhood, and now this tells you why I don't. I usually don't buy on Robinhood, but I said, hey, you know what? I had a little bit of change in there left over from a stock sale that I had, and I'm just going to ape into some Matic. Well, just hodling in Robinhood, not taking it off, which you couldn't at the time, but since then, they are allowed you to withdraw your cryptocurrencies. Because of this SEC crackdown, they said, hey, we're not going to offer Matic anymore. And at the same time, Binance US said, we're not going to deal with US dollars anymore. So only crypto-to-crypto exchanges on Binance US. That leaves only one place, Coinbase, to trade Matic and have an on and off ramp for your US dollars. Will they continue to offer it? That's what I was thinking. So Robinhood offering a product, then discontinuing a product, forced me to sell my Matic at a loss. I'm not happy about it. About $600 or so, but I am not happy about it. And the thing is with Robinhood, they said that you are able to take your crypto off the exchange. But even if you open an account, you give them your ID, copies of your photo ID, your social security number, your address, your employment, and so on and so forth, because they have to do this KYC, AML stuff. When you want to withdraw your cryptos, you have to resubmit some KYC, AML, and upload your ID. I tried to do that. I tried to get my Matic off, and they said the system is down. I tried 4 times in a row to upload my ID so I can withdraw my Matic to Coinbase or an external wallet, and it all failed, forcing me to sell at a loss. Not your keys, not your cheese. And furthermore, remember, in the United States with this crackdown and securities laws, and remember, these exchanges control the destiny of your, in air quotes, investment. I'm very, very salty at Robinhood and the SEC. And I want to give a big salute to Coinbase for not capitulating and being bullied. Robinhood, use a wuss. You a wimp. Just my 2 cents there. Moving on. Jeremy Allaire, he is the co-founder and CEO of Circle, the parent company behind USDC, and he is bullish. With the new BlackRock exchange-traded fund ETF in air quotes, I've talked about this many times, not going to go into it again, but he thinks that this is the positive movements for the crypto space, saying that there's a path now to a spot Bitcoin ETF and is gradually taking shape, that we're getting more regulatory clarity and investor protection, and he sees that institutional investors are increasing interest in cryptocurrencies. And he's totally bullish that mainstream acceptance of digital assets is growing. And he said this about digital assets, in quote, digital stores of value like Bitcoin remain a hedge instrument in the context of continued persistent inflation and weakening currencies. Moving into my favorite kind of news, political crypto news, Representative Maxine Waters isn't a fan of the new Republican crypto bill draft, and she wants regulators like the Treasury, the SEC's input on the Republican crypto bill, and she wants those agencies to back her up. She said in a letter to the SEC Chair, Gary Gensler, if there are recommendations or changes to existing law outside the scope of the bill that you believe would protect investors with the digital asset space, I would welcome those views as well. She continued to say that she's particularly worried that the Republican bill would allow crypto firms that are currently being sued for violating security laws to continue doing business through provisional registration, ending her statement with, "The door is always open for crypto companies to register with the SEC." these security laws have worked for every other industry for 90 years, and they can also work for crypto firms, she concludes. As we know that this is an issue that you just can't walk into the SEC and register, Coinbase is alleging that the SEC isn't that open, that the rules aren't that defined, and that security laws, even though they worked for 90 years for different industries, can't work for crypto because they might not always be securities. But they could be securities. But they also could be currencies. They could also be stores of value, commodities. They could also be many things at once and none at the same time. I don't know why Democrats are so staunch on this messaging, but they're continuing. Damus is a decentralized social media app, and they will be officially removed from Apple's App Store after failure to come into compliance with its Bitcoin tipping service. Damus lets users tip their favorite content creators through Zaps. These are Bitcoin transfers over the Lightning Network. Damus's critics have claimed that Apple simply wants the company to pay its 30%, its share of, as you know, by using the Apple App Store, any purchases through the Apple App Store. Well, they all have to go through the Apple App Store, and Apple will take a 30% cut for that transaction. The problem is this transaction is peer-to-peer. There's nothing within the app that has anything to do with it. It's just facilitating the Lightning Network. This is a tipping service. And with that tip, it's not unlocking any digital features. And this isn't a purchase of any kind of product or service within the app. It's just saying, here, have some money. Jack Dorsey even weighed in. Tips aren't unlocking content. So therefore, why remove the app? And how can you get 30% of something that is not buying a product? Damus, consulting with the top legal minds in the world, called Apple's crackdown pretty sus. And now let's get into those crypto prices.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
The time is 9:30 a.m. and Bitcoin is sitting at $30,598. It's up 0.7% in 24, still up 13.8 in 7. Ethereum is at $1,876, pretty much even from yesterday, up 8.5% in 7. Tether's number 3. Binance is at $238, even in 24, down 0.5 in 7. BNB is one of those other coins that had to let go prematurely at a massive loss because of all of the rumbles and the happenings. I'd rather take a little bit of a loss than go to zero. I could be wrong in the future, but for now, since there's only one place to buy and sell BNB, and that's on Binance US, and who the hell knows what's happening there, well, I'm going to have to wait and see, and better safe than sorry, right? Number 5 is USDC. Running off the top 10, we have XRP, Cardano, Doge, Tron, and Solana. Litecoin is number 11 at 88.82. The total market cap is at 1.19 trillion. That's increasing 0.3% overnight. We have a BTC dominance of 50% and an ETH dominance of 19%. And that was our show today. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, happy hodling, everyone.